Hey guys, Mrs. Stanton here, coming to you live from, I guess it's not really live. I'm in my classroom, but right now when you're watching this, I'm probably in my car. With that said, I just wanted to go through some of these guided practice problems that I assigned to you on Wednesday. So without further ado, let's take a look. Let me get off of this thing. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So I'm on the guided practice on Agile Minds. Page 1 is not a question. Page 1 is just giving you an intro. So we had Anthony and his dad, Mr. Chen. We had been working on those square pool problems. Well, Mr. Chen was so happy and pleased with Anthony's results that he decided to ask Anthony to make another analysis, but this time for rectangular pools. So most of the pools that are rectangles for the company are 2 feet longer than they are wide. So Anthony decides to start with those. So before he gets going, he decides to make just the simplest concrete representation. So he uses some models to help him. So let's take a look at the first problem here. It says, what words describe how Anthony should build his next model? Well, if you look on this one right here, it's a 1 tall by 1, 2, 3 wide. His second pool is 2 tall by 4 wide. Okay, going by this pattern, if we look at this, his next pool would be 1, 2, 3 long by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And if we look at the borders, if we look at this border, if it's 1 block tall, he's got 3 tiles. If it's 2 blocks long, he's got 4 tiles. So if I'm over here and I've got 3 blocks, that means we're going to have 5 tiles. And on the bottom, he would have okay, and that would be 7. So again, here it goes up by 1 each time. So 3 with a 1, 4 with a 2, and 5 with a 3. So with that, we would choose a 3 by 5 rectangle pool with the border being 5 blocks by 7 blocks. Make sure when you do this, guys, you click submit answer. Otherwise, it will not count that you did it. After you hit submit, then you can go on to the next one. So question 2. Again, let's go back to Anthony's first and second model pools. It says how many squares will be in the border of the model of Anthony's third pool? Well, if we look at his first pool, that's 1 block long. He's got 3, 6, 9, 12. And if it helps, guys, 1 block equaled 12. His next pool is 2 blocks. And we're going to call that 4, 8, 12, and 16. I'm wondering if you guys are starting to see a pattern here. And if his is 3 blocks long, like they're asking us in the problem, again, they're asking us for third pool, going with this pattern, this one's going up by 4. So my next one's also going to increase by 4, which would make it be 20 blocks long. And if it helps, guys, you can fill out the picture. Oops. So there's his pool. And if you want, you can go ahead and count all my purple dots there, and that would give you 20. Again, don't forget to hit submit. All right, going on, question 4. So Anthony now has enough information to try to represent this situation numerically. Remember, guys, numerically means with a table. He begins the table to show the relationship. So we just said over here on my picture, and we can count them again, that with a width of 1 there's going to be 12 tiles in the border. With a width of 2, if you count them and you check our table over here, we said that there's 16. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 2 here. Or I'm sorry, drag the number 2. And then following that pattern with a width of 3, if we count them back up and also look at our table that we made, we get 20. Hit submit. So this time on question 5, they want us, here's the table we just started with. What do we think is going to be with a width of 4? Again, we went increased by 4, increased by 4. If we continue that pattern, guys, we've got 20 plus 4 gives me 24. If it was 5 tiles, I'd add another 4 and get 28. And if it was 6 tiles, we'd add another 4 and get 32. So this is a tough question here, okay? It says, here's our Anthony's concrete and numerical representation. So concrete being our pictures, numerical being our table for the first 3 pools. They want us to drag these tiles to make a symbolic, meaning an equation, to represent the width of the pool, W, and the number of tiles in its border, T, okay? So the first thing I want to do here, guys, I'm going to write down, they want us to come up with something that says the total number of tiles equals something times the width plus something, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to, I prefer to go back to our table, okay? And you can look over here too. My table has, for every 1 tile that there's an increase, my total tiles go up by 4. That's what we call our change, and that's what goes right here. Okay, the change of tiles, when it goes up by 1, I've got an increase of 4, so I'm going to use 4 right there. Then, how many additional tiles are added on each time? Well, that's going to be our 4, if you count it then, if I said, let's just throw in the number 1. 4 times 1 is 4. And that has to equal a total of 12. So 4 plus what is going to give me the 12 tiles? Well, that's going to be 8. So I'm going to say 4W plus 8 additional tiles. And click submit. So it's asked, do you see the 8 in the concrete models? I have a hard time seeing that. My mind actually sees this problem a little different, and we're going to talk about that on the next page, I think. Yep. Okay, so here, guys, what they want us to do, they came up with 4 equations that are all equivalent, meaning if we simplified this equation down and this equation down, it would look like this one, okay? But what they want us to do is say, which one of these concrete models that they've broken apart matches this, okay? So with that, when I look at this, I'm gonna start with this one, okay? We've got here 4 sets of blocks. So I know that there's like a times 4 in there somewhere, okay? So we're looking at either this first one or this one down here. Now with that, what am I multiplying? I am multiplying it by the width plus 2. So my width is 2 plus an additional 2 because there's 4 blocks total in the border on this side. So my width is 2 plus an additional 2 gives me the 4. 4 times 4. Oops, sorry. So that's where we're going to drag this one. Now, when I look at this, we're going to start with the outside. We've got 4 corners, so I know there's going to be a plus 4 on there. So that looks like that. And then we've got a set of 2 times the width. Well, 2 times the width, we've got that. So we're going to pull this one. This time, we've got 4W. So 4 times the width. So 4 times 2 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 8 blocks on the inside. So I'm going to drag this one here. Okay, this is probably as hard as it's going to get right here, guys. As hard as it's going to get. Okay, so here, this time they want us to choose a graphical representation. So I'm going to go to our most basic one. Okay, so right here, let me see if it'll do this for me. Oh, my mouse is a little bit off. So here, let me go back and erase. Okay, so here we've got 1 block wide equals how many total tiles we said? 16. If I've got 2 blocks wide, I'm sorry, this wasn't 16, guys, that was 12. If it was 2 blocks wide, it was 16 blocks total, and 3 blocks wide gave me 20. So what we need to do, we need to go down to these graphs, okay? Here, if I look at this, 1 block and take it up the side, well, that puts me smack dab between 10 and 20, which is 15. Well, that doesn't match the 12, so I'm going to cross that one off. Then I'm going to come over here, and I've got 1 block. Well, that's a little bit over 10, so this one could be an answer. Come down here, and it's saying that 1 block is a little over 10. Okay, so let's go to here. The problem, though, is that they're saying that there's 0 blocks, meaning if I don't have any tiles in my pool, that I'm still going to have 8 total tiles around it. Well, guys, that doesn't make sense. If I don't have a pool, that means I don't have any tiles to go around it. So that's where we're going to choose this graph right here. And there's no good way to erase this, so be patient with me here. Okay, so now this time, they want to see a symbolic relationship, which I don't know why they're saying a symbolic, because symbolic is a table, not a graph, but we'll still go with this. Okay, so on this one, again, 1 tile gave me 12 total tiles. So 1, that only takes it to 8. 1, that takes it to under 8. And over here, 1 takes it to between 8 and 16, which should be 12. So I'm going to choose this one. All right. Question 10. How many tiles would Anthony's father need for the border of a pool that is 100 feet wide? So real quick, guys, let's recall back. We had the equation, the symbolic representation that we came up with previously. That was the total tiles equals 4 times the width plus 8. Okay, so now they want to know, what's it going to be if it's 100 feet wide? Well, key being wide. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug that 100 into my W here. So when I do that, I get T equals 4 times my 100 plus 8. And simplify this, guys. Make sure we follow our order of operations. 4 times 100 is 400. Plus the 8 gives me a total of 408. So I'm going to choose that answer. And then last question. Okay. This time, guys, we've got the same idea. But this time, they're saying, what is the width if there's a total of 100 tiles? So we have to work backwards. So again, I'm going to start with this original equation here that says my tiles equals 4 times W plus 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, instead of this 100 going in the width, that 100 goes in the tiles now. So we're going to say 100 total tiles equals 4W plus 8. Okay, well, we have to work backwards on this one now, guys. If you remember, the last step we did was add 8. So the first step we're going to do this time, and we'll do more with solving equations in a couple units. The first thing we're going to do here is get rid of this 8 right here. How do I get rid of a plus 8? We do the opposite, and we're going to subtract 8. Minus 8 on both sides, because what we do on one side, we must do to the other. That's gone. 100 minus 8 is 92. And what I have left on this side is a 4 times W. There's a couple ways that we can think of this. Is what times 4 gives us 92, or we can work backwards and we can say 92, whoops. We can say 92 divided by 4. And with that, we get the answer that the width equals 23. My width equals 23. Okay, so now with this, guys, your assignment for today is to go through on Agile Minds and do the more practice by yourself. Do the more practice by yourself. Okay, if you have any questions, we will get them answered on Monday when I see you at kind of a different time. Now remember, Monday we are going, you're doing all your classes virtually. So all your gold, all your black. So I'm not sure of the exact time. I have to look it up again, but you'll go gold 1 and then you'll come here to black 1 and then you'll go to gold 2 and then you'll go to black 2. Okay. So with that, guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.